Now, Interior Cabinet Secretary Professor Kithure Kindiki has become the first Cabinet Secretary to field questions from members of Parliament on the floor of the House under the 2010 constitutional dispensation. Top on the agenda of questions by private notice was the bandit menace, as you would expect. And Professor Kindiki admits that the recent rescue mission by bandits in Iten Hospital could have been countered, but for fear of collateral damage on patients at the hospital gave way for the hospitalized bandit to escape. Kicking us off tonight is NTV's Sydney Chazima.
Have been apprehended.
At last, one of the proposals outlined in President William Ruto's memo to Parliament last year has been actualized.
By noon,
after amending the standing orders to allow Cabinet Secretaries to appear on the floor of the House to answer questions, Interior Cabinet Secretary Professor Kithure Kindiki was the first to take the hot seat in Parliament. Members of Parliament, conformed into a committee of the whole House, posed questions on why the security apparatus in Iten failed to act on the recent bandit operation that saw a suspected bandit rescued from hospital, in essence avoiding capture.
The bandit that was taken away in hospital in Iten is the one that killed my cousin. Tell us when that wounded bandit who was in hospital will be brought to book.
That a shootout inside that facility would have caused fatalities on patients, and that gave a leeway for the rescue to succeed. We are on him. We have some leads. We believe we shall arrest him.
The recent demonstrations in Chuka, occasioned by the shooting of County Boda Boda Association Chairman Willis Mugambi, also informed the round of questioning. Justice and Legal Affairs Committee Chair George Murugara calling on the Cabinet Secretary to compensate the family of the deceased.
What measures will the government put in place to ensure that the family of the late Willis Mugambi Kiraku, the Boda Boda Chairman Tharakanithi, who was fatally shot on the 8th of April 2023, is properly, sufficiently, and adequately compensated for the loss of their kin without undue delay?
If the person has died in the hands of our officers, the procedures for compensation will ensue.
The deficiencies in the Department of Civil Registration were also pointed out.
What support can you give to the single mothers to ensure that they get birth certificates for their children, because they need this to be able to process medical insurance for their children?
The challenge is arising from the capacity at the government press. The government press has not been modernized for a very long time.
PS Citizen Services have engaged with him on a unique identifier system that seeks to capture data of newborns digitally, electronically. But now the CS is telling us about modernizing the government printer, hiring another person at the government printer who will be more efficient, leasing equipment instead of buying new equipment. CS, you must tell us, where do you sit? Are you aligned to the president's agenda to digitize, or are you not?
Kindiki's appearance before Parliament now eases the path towards accountability, as the recent process of reaching Cabinet Secretaries for questioning involved what legislators termed as too much bureaucracy. Sydney Chazima, NTV.